All right, good afternoon. Thank you so much for keeping it at TV47. It is time for the news now. My name is Linda Alela. We'll start off on a somber note where reports hitting the newsroom is that, of course, there's an aircraft that has crashed into a building in Mwihoko, Kiambu County. As at now, of course, this developing story, we're told that emergency response teams, including military personnel, firefighters, paramedics, are currently on site. That is in Mwihoko, even as crowds continue to throng to get to see what really played out upon this crash of an aircraft into a residential building. The area has since been cordoned off as rescue operations continue. We'll be following up on this particular developing stories. Of course, we have our teams on ground to keep you posted as to what really pans out. But away from it, it is important that we also give you more as to what is happening in the world of news. We start off, that is in Kasarani. The national football team Harambee Stars will tonight face Angola in the second Group A fixture of the 2024 African Cup Championship, that is CHAN. And of course, the match kicks off at 7 p.m. the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. That is in front of a sold-out home crowd, fresh from a 1-0 victory over DR Congo, while Kenya is chasing a historic quarter-final spot in their CHAN debut. Our reporter Sheila Chelangat is on the ground and gives us the look and feel of what to expect or what's going on. Sheila, over to you.
All right, good afternoon, Linda Alela. Of course, the excitement is really palpable here at the Moi International Sports Center in Kasarani, where fans already are streaming into this particular stadium ahead of the much-awaited match and clash between Kenya and Angola at 7 p.m. tonight. Of course, at this particular moment, there is another match that is ongoing. That is Zambia versus the DR Congo. You might just want to remember that Kenya actually beat DR Congo last Sunday 1-0, and so it is an exciting moment. However, we have seen a little bit of traffic snarl-ups in major roads across the city, especially around the Nyayo Stadium and even the Kasarani Stadium. We saw that, earlier on I visited, the around Nyayo Stadium, and we could see that, the traffic at that particular, on that particular road was really snarled up because one side was closed from the Lusaka roundabout to Bunyala roundabout. So we could see that, some of the cars and traffic were either maintaining one side of the road. Here, particularly on the Thika Superhighway, we would be seeing where we are at near the Moi International Sports Center is that the service lane has been, closed off, especially here near Safari Park, so far at this particular moment, just to allow for vehicles, also fans who are trying to access this particular stadium to get into this particular place. Also, we are seeing that the ticketing is also ongoing because, fans are getting in just to try and get a feel of the match that would be happening later on. Also on security, Alela, we have seen thousands, about 2,000 police officers have been deployed across the stadiums where the matches are actually ongoing at this particular moment. And if my camera person could just show you the, police and security personnel who are actually at this particular stadium at this particular moment, just trying to help in terms of the traffic flow of the fans as well as the vehicles that are passing. There are some routes that the vehicles will not be allowed to access unless they do have the stickers that have been authorized by CAF. And so this is a feel as it is at this particular moment, and we'll be giving you much more in our subsequent bulletins at about 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. Of course, the situation right now on Thika Superhighway is still a bit good. Perhaps it would get worse towards, the game time, which is about in 3 hours or 2 hours or so from this particular point. But for now, Alela, we wish Harambee Stars all the best, even as they get to, meet with Angola ahead at 7 p.m. East African time here in Nairobi. But for now, back to you in studio.
Thank you so much, Sheila, for the update. Certainly waiting to see just how our boys are going to take up the action, equally waiting for them to suddenly bring it back home. Now, Energy and Petroleum Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Wandayi has said that the Orange Democratic Movement ODM will not field a presidential candidate in the 2027 general election. Instead, he affirmed that ODM leader Raila Odinga is committed to supporting President William Ruto in delivering his promises to Kenyans. While speaking in Lukenya during an inspection of the last-mile electricity connectivity project, Wandayi criticized opposition leaders who have condemned Raila's decision to work with the Kenya Kwanza administration. He urged them to focus on identifying a stronger presidential contender to challenge Ruto in 2027. He hinted that the formation of a broad-based government is ongoing, with more opposition figures being incorporated into state leadership.
But you cannot fool all people all the times. Hiyo ni porojo. Hiyo porojo ya wakina Mwadhi tusahau. Sawa sawa? Hazina maana na zitasaidia mtu na mambo yote. Kwa hiyo Raila Odinga mwenyewe ameamua na amesema wazi ya kwamba atafanya kazi pamoja na Mheshimiwa Rais Ruto mpaka dakika ya mwisho. Na wakitafuta mtu ambaye atagombea kiti cha rais, kuna watu wengi ambao wamejitokeza wanataka hicho kiti. Washaye na Raila, si ndio? Sasa hiyo wazee aendelee na shughuli zake za kusaidia rais kuendesha nchi, ili nchi iwe na maendeleo na utulivu na amani. Hizo vitisho ndogo ndogo waachane nazo.
Now, residents of Kajiado West sub-county are grappling with an outbreak of Kala-Azar, a parasitic disease that has spread across much of the semi-arid region, also known as visceral leishmaniasis. The disease is transmitted through the bite of infected female sandflies and can cause fever, weight loss, and swelling on the spleen. That is on liver at Oletepis Health Center. Over 150 cases have been reported since January, with 15 new cases recorded in July. Young boys herding livestock in open fields are the most affected. Parents have raised concerns over the high cost of treatment in private hospitals, often worsened by misdiagnosis. The Kajiado County Health Department is urging residents to seek free treatment at Oletepesi Health Center, or LTPC, that is in Kajiado.
We have these cases of leishmaniasis. They are really upcoming in the facility and in the area around. Leishmaniasis is caused by the Leishmania parasite transmitted by the sandfly. For last month, July, we saw around 15 patients for both the visceral and the cutaneous leishmaniasis. And for the whole year, since January to date, we have around 150 patients with the same.
In the entire county, we only have it in Kajiado West, especially Magadi Ward, part of Kekonyokia Ward, the West Ward, Mosiro Ward, and part of Lodoklani Ward. And of course, this disease, if not treated, it will eventually lead to death. Otherwise, treatment is free. Here in Oltepesi, we do treatment at Oltepesi Health Center, Ewaso Health Center, and Kajiado Referral Hospital. So I would like to encourage our people to seek treatment when there are any lesions or when there are some wounds within their bodies, to come and get identified, because if Kala-Azar is not treated, it is dangerous, it kills.
Leo na dunga sindano mbili, anaona mabadiliko. Kijana yangu anaenda kula pesa, anaenda hospitali nyingine ya private na kula pesa mingi karibu 50. Hakuna.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Protection, through the State Department for Social Protection and Senior Citizen Affairs, has released 4.6 billion shillings to beneficiaries of the Inua Jamii Cash Transfer Program, covering stipends for June and July 2025 each. Of the 1,151,917 beneficiaries, including older persons, orphans, and persons living with severe disabilities, will receive 4,000 Kenya shillings, representing 2,000 per month for the 2-month cycle. The Principal Secretary, Joseph Mutari, confirmed that the June payments had been delayed due to a nationwide data cleanup exercise, which removed over 100,000 ineligible recipients, including deceased individuals.
So the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection, through the State Department for Social Protection and Senior Citizen Affairs, has today reached Kenya shillings 4,607,668,000. That is 4.6 billion for payment to 1.1 older persons and persons living with severe disabilities enrolled in the Inua Jamii cash transfer program. The disbursement covers stipends for both the June and July 2025 payment cycle. Each beneficiary will receive, of course, 4,000, this being an arrears of from June to July, representing 2,000 per month for the 2 months payments commenced today. The June cycle payment had been delayed due to a data cleanup exercise that the State Department, and then therefore we as a State Department apologize to the beneficiaries for any inconvenience caused by this delay.
Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has appealed to the United States government to impose sanctions on President William Ruto and ban him from traveling to the United States, that is for gross human rights abuses. Gachagua, who spoke during an engagement forum with the Kenyans in Kansas City in the U.S., urged the U.S. president or government not to punish Kenyans for Ruto's political mistakes. Gachagua also said he is in possession of crucial evidence involving President Ruto and Rapid Support Forces paramilitary leader, that is Mohamed Hemedti.
And our request to the American government and the American people, please don't punish Kenya because of the atrocities of William Ruto. Don't withhold military aid to Kenya. Don't withhold sharing of intelligence with Kenya. Don't withdraw all those facilities that come with that privilege of being recognized as an ally of the NATO states. All we are asking the American government to do, once you confirm all these concerns, help us. Don't have sanctions against the people of Kenya or our country. Please, just do the right thing. Impose sanctions on William Ruto as a person, never to come to America. And I think if he does that, that is our problem. Kenya should not suffer because of one person.
And back home, Nairobi women representative Esther Passaris has called on President William Ruto to initiate talks with the U.S. government to ensure victims of the 1998 Nairobi bomb blast are compensated. Speaking during a memorial event that happened today, Passaris met with families affected by the tragedy and urged the government to prioritize justice for survivors and their loved ones. She noted that while the attack claimed hundreds of lives and left thousands injured, many victims have yet to receive any form of compensation or recognition. Passaris emphasized that the emotional and economic toll continues to weigh heavily on survivors and called for renewed diplomatic efforts to address the matter.
Wajua naweza kupeleka hii swali bunge. Mumesema mumetembea na Senate hizi miaka zote. Lakini tukifika kwa ofisi ya rais, yeye mwenyewe, kwa sababu nimeona wanajibiana na Amerika. Jana Amerika wanasema hii, leo yeye amejibu Amerika. Mimi nataka aangalie what is the American government doing to compensate our survivors.
The family of a woman who was allegedly sexually assaulted by a doctor at Pandya Hospital in Mombasa in January is intensifying its calls for justice even after her death while undergoing treatment in Kilifi County last Saturday. Speaking at the feeder offices in Mombasa, family members and officials from the Federation of Women Lawyers, that is FIDA, who are representing the family in court, vowed to continue pursuing justice. They described her death as a major blow to her young family and condemned the assault, saying it had caused significant psychological trauma to the deceased. They also renewed calls for enhanced safety measures in hospitals to protect patients.
Hali yake ilikuwa iko sawa. So baada hiyo kitendo nikana kwamba alishtuka. Maki kuna wakati alishindwa hata kunielezea. Lakini akawa hana budi lazima anielezee. Na pia mimi nikampatia morali ya kwamba after all this na hakika haki itapatikana na maisha itaendelea. So ilikuwa ni kila wakati najaribu kumpatia ile encouragement ya kwamba akuwe anavumilia yote yale.
Hapo mwanzo alikuwa na ile confidence hata anaweza kwenda hospitali peke yake, lakini baada ya kile kitendo ilikuwa hata ile hospitali ambayo alihamishwa hawezi enda peke yake. Kuna wakati kuna lazima aende na mama yake, hata kuna siku alikuwa na mama yake lakini akalazimisha, aliniona akasema kama leo uko free ningeomba uandamane na mimi hospitali. Kwa hivyo kisaikolojia alikuwa akiuliza sana.
A new report by Bloggers Association of Kenya titled State of the Internet in Kenya 2020 to 2024 has revealed a stark contradiction in the country's digital trajectory. While Kenya has emerged as a regional tech powerhouse, the report warns that digital rights are increasingly under threat. According to the report, between 2020 and 2024, Kenya saw major strides in connectivity, mobile penetration, as well as digital innovation. The mobile subscriptions surpassed 71 million and mobile money users reached 42.3 million. However, this progress has been marred by government surveillance, censorship, and internet shutdowns, particularly during periods of public dissent, like the Reject Finance Bill 2024 protests. The report cites the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act as a tool used to suppress online speech, with documented cases of harassment, arrests, and even deaths of bloggers and activists.
We have just launched the State of the Internet 2020 to 2024 report. And one of the things that that report covers is the terrible state of digital rights in Kenya. And we feel that while Kenya has made a lot of strides in as far as the internet economy and the digital economy is concerned, unfortunately we do have a lot of repression, we have internet shutdowns, and these
15 minutes past 4 p.m. East African time. That's the march we had for you for now, but we're cooking more to ensure that we present to you later on at 7 as well as 9 p.m. Make sure to keep it TV47. My name is Linda Alela. We close the news now.